Hi there, it's Kevin Ward, the founder of Yes Masters Real Estate Success Training, helping you get more yeses and more successes in your business and in your life. And today I'm doing an abbreviated conversations with the best with, I'm just gonna say one of my new friends and somebody that I've been following and looking up to for a while, Mr. Dan LOK. Dan, thank you for joining me.
Welcome,
today.
glad to be here. Glad to be here.
It's so awesome. So Dan is known primarily for high-ticket closer, as the high-ticket closer for high-ticket sales. Not somebody who does it anymore, but who trains thousands and thousands of people all over the world, in over 130 countries to do it. And of course, in real estate, probably the highest ticket close there is real estate. Correct. And so he's been kind enough, we're at a convention together, and he's been kind enough to sit down with me and talk about success, talk about money, because your whole positioning, high ticket closing, is about wealth and so forth. So first, tell us a little bit about your background and kind of where you came from, because I know you started from humble beginnings like I did. So
very humble beginnings.
Tell everybody a little bit about that.
Well, I was born in Hong Kong, so I immigrated to Canada when I was 14 years old, because I was getting into so much trouble when I was a young guy, as a teenager, just very rebellious, right?
Yeah.
So then when I immigrated to Canada, my mom and dad got divorced when I was 16 years old. And that
was right after you got here.
Right after I got here, and as the only child in my family, just so my mom was raising me up and taking care of me. And then shortly after that, when I was 17 years old, my dad actually went bankrupt in Hong Kong.
Wow.
Right? So at first my dad was sending us some allowance, and because after he went bankrupt, basically couldn't provide for us anymore. So my dad was actually almost $1 million in debt. Basically,
wow.
My dad, his business partner, and my dad is a very trusting person, right? So he signed on everything, guarantee on everything for the company. The business partner basically took the money and disappeared. And that just destroyed my dad financially and emotionally.
Wow.
He was never the same man again.
He couldn't recover from
He couldn't
the failure.
ever. He couldn't recover.
Wow.
And so at a young age, I had to grow up, I had to mature, and I had to take care of my family. What's very interesting is, from that incident, I learned to be self-reliant. That is what taught me is sometimes even as your dad, you can't depend on your dad. You have to be self-reliant. So I learned self-reliance at a very young age. So my whole life, I've always been very entrepreneurial. I've only had one job for 1 year.
And what was that?
Entire life.
What was your
I was
job?
working in a grocery store, supermarket, as a grocery bagger. So the guy who bags your grocery, take it to the car.
Right.
That's my job. That was the only job I ever had, right? And I learned something from that job, though. I learned something from that job.
What was that?
I am unemployable.
Never want to go back to that.
No, it's like I don't want to go back, stocking cans on the shelves and dusting the can and cleaning the bathroom. Like this is not what I wanted to do, right?
Yeah.
So I learned something from that. But from then on, I've always been very entrepreneurial, trying to make a living, doing all kinds of businesses. I was fixing computer.
Right.
I was, delivering stuff. I was mowing lawns and tried a lot of different things. None of that really worked. So people look at what I do today, and they ask me the question, Dan, have you ever thought about this is where you're going to be? I said, not in a million years. Not in a million years. Could I ever imagine I would be just doing what I do, right? Like publish books and speaking and training and running this now global organization.
Well, you've had such tremendous success. And you've created massive wealth.
Yeah.
And when real estate agents, when they get in the business, I've never met a real estate agent that didn't want to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And when I do events, I always ask, how many of you would like to make over $1 million in a year?
Yeah.
Everybody raises their hand, and yet that is probably one of the most unusual things. So many real estate agents come in, they're broke, and they have that broke mentality. It's like they don't know how to make money. So let's talk about wealth.
Yes.
You came from humble beginnings.
Yeah.
Be it living with a single mom as an immigrant.
In a one-bedroom apartment we were renting in the hood, right? In Vancouver, which is Surrey, right? That's where the drugs and all that stuff, it's a bad neighborhood.
And so you started out bagging groceries and then said, okay, can't do that anymore. I'm going to become entrepreneurial, start my own business.
Yeah.
And so you got real estate agents who all want to make a lot of money, but so many of them, like me, came from a background, like I grew up in a mobile home out in the country, and the idea of having a lot of money was like, money doesn't grow on trees, and my parents probably, when it came to money, the most common conversation in my house was, we can't afford it, or being broke. Money doesn't grow on trees, that's not for...
Money's the root of all evil.
If you're
Rich
wealthy, people are greedy, they take advantage of other people. How would you, because I know you coach this, and probably one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world, at training, how do you create an abundance mindset and get okay, that it's okay to have a lot of money, to make it and have it? Tell us about that. How do you do that?
I think most people, they don't make a lot of money or they don't create wealth because they're not comfortable with the idea of wealth. They might say that, I want to make more money, but deep down they're not comfortable. I use this perfect example. So imagine this, right, Kevin? We're walking, you and I walking down the street, and you hear this loud sound like the engine, and you hear this car, like a black Lamborghini, just like drove by. What's the first thing that goes through your mind? Jerk. What else? Greed.
No, I mean, that's material. Worldly,
asshole.
That's worldly. That's like show off. He thinks he's so hot because he's compensating.
It's daddy's money, right? All this gold digger, right? Who knows what?
It's an evil story. The whole story about that guy is immediately
negative.
Negative.
So my question is, how do you know?
You don't.
You don't.
100%.
So just think about how we just came up with that story with no hesitation. What if I told you that there's actually an entrepreneur who has worked 20 years his life building a great company, a family man, got 3 kids, serving the community, donates to charity, runs a very good business, has very good customers, that this is just one of his achievements. It's what he likes to do on the weekend, driving his Lamborghini. But see, that doesn't come across people's mind. That's the last thing that comes across people's mind, right? So imagine this person, you think, this is like, negative, asshole, spoiled brat or whatever. Would you want to be that person?
No.
Not in a million years.
100% no.
So on one hand, you say, I want to create wealth. On the other hand, if you are that person driving that car, that's how the world sees you.
So your story is, I want that, but I don't want that.
Then what happens is, I want it, but subconsciously you make sure I don't get that. Because I know if I get that, oh my goodness.
That's pain.
All my friends, that's how they would view me. All my family, that's how they would view me. I don't want that. So they make sure they never get that. Doesn't matter how hard you work. I mean, the analogy I like to use is where, imagine you're pressing on the gas pedal, right? It's like, I want to get more money, I hustle, I work hard. And then you have the emergency brake on and say, hey, money's bad. You make a lot of money. Oh man, people are not going to dislike you. You'll be an asshole. You're like or you're going to be a prick, right? All this stuff. And that's why you notice people either don't achieve a lot of success or they achieve some success and they self-sabotage.
That's what I did.
And subconsciously, you would make some stupid decisions. You would get into bad partnership or something that's working fine, and you stop doing it. You stop doing what works, and boom, you crash. And you're like, oh my God, something happens. It's the economy, this and that. And then you're like, no, let me work hard again. And you do that again, and you crash it. So your whole life is this, right?
That's my story. Right there's my story.
Right?
You just told my
Until
story.
you fix this, then it goes like that. But this is what nobody talks about. And what happens is when they crash, everybody's looking for a mechanic. What did I do wrong?
So they think it's what they did.
It's not. It's who they are.
It's who they.
It's who they are that created that.
So this is so funny when you were talking about, well, what if this is a successful businessman, family man, blah blah blah. Immediately, my subconscious created a second story. Oh, well, I could never be like that.
See?
I mean, I still feel that from my old roots. It's like
that cannot be.
Programming is still there. And I immediately felt it.
Right.
Like, I know exactly what everybody else would think about that guy.
That's right. So then from there, that little bit of, or it's almost like a little virus, right? That little bit of that piece of negative programming, that's what's gonna, I just say, fuck everything up without you knowing it. And that's why you see entrepreneurs, I tell people, don't be so impressed with entrepreneurs. Oh, they accomplish a lot of success in 1 year. You see this in this conference. I made X amount of dollars in 1 year. Let's see if they're still around in 10 years. Study the guys who've been around long time and their success is like this.
Right.
What's the big deal? A lot of people can make it. Very few could keep it. Very few could
All
keep
right,
it.
so I'm a case study for you,
Yes.
but there's so many out there watching this.
Yeah.
So how did you do that? How did you, because you, I mean, and I hope you don't mind me sharing a little bit of his, you know, because I found out about one of the things, I was just watching some of your videos, and he's giving us a tour of your $15 million mansion, penthouse in Vancouver, British Columbia. And I'm like, okay, dang it, the guy's got so much fruit on his tree, and you've made hundreds of millions of dollars in real estate development, commercial investing, and I'm like, I'm trying to teach agents to make $1 million.
Yeah.
And you're up here at this level, and I'm like, I don't think you're that much smarter than me, you know?
And I'm not.
And I don't think you're that much more, you know, powerful than, and certainly you weren't when you started. You were a scared immigrant kid who couldn't speak English.
Yeah.
So what would you say were 2 or 3 things that you would say, here's how you reprogram
Yes.
that mindset and become the person who can handle abundance?
I love it. I love it. So first thing is getting comfortable with success. So when I had no money, even when I was early, like 20-something years old, I would go into 5-star hotel. Okay, I would work there because I want to be comfortable with the idea of wealth, right? Even when I had nothing, so I couldn't afford to get lunch. I would just go there and work in a hotel. Good thing is they don't kick you out.
With a job or go hang out?
No, just hang out.
Oh, go work, like
Work
do your
there,
work,
yeah. I'll work
sitting in the hotel
because I don't want to
lobby.
work in my 1-bedroom apartment because
Right.
I felt poor. So I would go into that, right? And then even when I couldn't afford it, go try on that nice suit. Go test drive that car because you want to be very comfortable with the idea.
Yeah.
Example, most people, imagine, go in, they say, I want to be successful. Take them to an expensive watch store. Most people, they walk into Louis Vuitton. They'll be like, how many of you, be honest, you're uncomfortable going in? You're like, oh, I feel like I'm out of place.
Oh my gosh,
right?
yeah.
Right? Do you feel you belong there?
Yeah.
Try on that watch, that Rolex. See how it feels. Most people are like, oh, I don't want to touch it. I'm going to scratch it. I can never afford it. Well, maybe it's too, see,
Yeah.
it's just a
They
watch.
look at a $40,000 watch.
It's just,
and
just a watch.
Yeah.
It's just a watch. If you're not even comfortable with that, you're not gonna. So, human being, the comfort zone. So first thing we need to do is, this is your comfort zone, you need to expand that first.
So, just like instead of going and hanging out at Starbucks to do your work,
Yes.
go meet somebody in the lobby of a 5-star hotel.
Hotel. Get used to it. Like even small
Get
thing where
comfortable with that.
you're traveling, economy, screw economy. Business
class.
It's at least business class.
Yeah.
And then first class. And then guess what? Once you travel business class, first class,
100%.
don't stay in the terminal, go to the lounge.
Yep.
Next time you're like, this is nice.
It took us one time flying first class.
It's like, this is it.
That's it.
I don't want to go back
We
to the...
only fly first class now.
That's what,
because
now your comfort is expanded.
it's a different experience.
It's a different experience. But it's now your identity is, I'm not the guy that flies coach, I'm the guy that first class. Then from there you're a little bit more comfortable. I'm not the guy that stays in Motel 6. I stay in Ritz-Carlton, right?
Right.
And it's not about being like, oh, are you just talk about like blowing money? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you are getting used to that lifestyle. Even small little thing. Do it in a small way. But you can't buy the watch,
Right.
buy a nice cufflink.
So what would you say to somebody who says that's just wasteful? Like,
You'll always be broke.
yeah.
Because you're thinking from a scarcity mindset,
Oof.
right? I can
Right.
never afford that.
Yeah.
That's not who I am. I can't afford it. You're just wasting money. Because if you're staying in Ritz-Carlton, you're having this lifestyle, you get used to it, what happens? Your brain now goes to, I like this.
Right.
How could I create more success so I only have this? How to sustain my lifestyle? What do I need to do? Now you go into the creative mode, not in the scarcity mode, right? It's a totally different thing. It's a totally different mindset, right? That's one tip.
Love it. Okay.
One-
Next.
Okay. Second thing is the negative association with money.
Right.
That if I make a lot of money, I'm a bad person.
Yep.
The way I solve it is very simple. I look at the impact that I make. So you get that too. From your
100%.
customers, from your clients, from your, like all these case study success stories.
Yeah.
I would program myself. I would watch those videos. I would read those testimonials. I would look at YouTube, I look at a comment because I need a lot of positive reinforcement. wow, I get hundreds and hundreds, thousands of nice comments. I almost totally ignore all the negative shit because that doesn't matter. Those people I cannot touch.
Right.
Forget it. Yeah. But the people I impact positively, as I could see that, the more successful I become, the more impact I can make. That reprograms myself into, I want more of those success stories.
Yeah.
I want to create more of that. Now if the more wealth I create, awesome. All money is a byproduct of value creation. So that's why I have no problem. You know, my mission statement for my company, impacting 1 billion people. 1 billion
so
people.
So that's swinging for the fence.
Yes, right? Is it okay if I miss half of it? It's okay, right?
Right.
And I don't need to focus on, you know, let's say from a company perspective, I want to hit $1 billion. I tell you what, $1 billion company. That's what I want to build. But I don't need to focus on that. If I can impact 1 billion people.
I heard you say, and this is one of the reasons that I'm interviewing this guy, and the reason we connected so well is because I heard you say on videos, I'm kind of checking you out, was you said the way you focus on impact, not income.
Yeah.
When you focus on impact, the income comes in, which is totally congruent with what we train at Yes Masters, and that is, it's about the people you serve.
It's about the people.
And when the more value you add, the more people you help, the more money you're going to make.
But for most people, I think the whole impact aspect, they need to get there, right? Because I talk about that in my new book, Unlock It. I talk about the 4 stages of life. First stage is survival,
right?
Just paying the bills, right? And just get to the point where you're paying the bills and not worry about money. Second stage, level 2, is security.
Okay.
Now it's meaning that you're comfortable, right? You don't have to worry so much. You're not worried, and you have everything you need in life, right? You got a roof over your head, you drive a car, cool. And then you go into success, level 3. When you transition from security to success, now you don't just have everything you need, you have everything you want, right? Now you're like, I don't just live in a house, I live in the house that I want.
Right.
I don't drive a car, I drive the car that I want, right? I can travel, I can do all that, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is most entrepreneurs, including myself, for many years, I was stuck at success.
So most people would see that as like, that's the top level. And you're saying there's a 4th level.
That's 4th level.
All right, I've not heard this before. This is so good. So let's...
Because success is all about me.
Yeah.
It's all about, it's ego-driven.
Wow.
So my life from, I would say, 20 to 30 years old, I was that guy. I was the guy who is...
Private jets, fancy cars.
I was getting a car every year. And it's about, like when I do business, it's about me. What's in it for me?
Right.
I want to be the guy who grab all the chips on the table. There's no win-win. There's no win-win business, win-lose.
Yeah.
Not good. So I was making money, but guess what? I wasn't happy. And when you're making money, you're not happy, I'm telling you, I know it's tough to relate. Nothing's more miserable than that.
That's hopeless.
That is just miserable.
Because people go like, if I could just make this more money, I'd be happy. And now you've got no illusion.
Because the whole world sees you got everything. And you're like deep down like, I don't like what I do. I don't like who I am. When you wake up in the morning, you like who you are. Not a good way to start the day, right?
Yeah.
Then the last level is shifting from success to significance.
This is level 4.
Level 4. Now significance. Now it sounds cliche, but now we're talking legacy. We're talking what's the impact. Like what do you want to be known for, right? When you shift from success to significance, it's a totally different thing because now you're utilizing in our case, the entrepreneurial gifts that we have, the skills that we have.
Right.
How do we do this and impact way more people? So it's one thing to say, I'm going to be successful, but it's a whole different thing to say, I'm going to make my clients successful. I'm going to make my students successful. How many of them I could bring along?
Right.
Right?
Now you're changing the world.
Now you're changing the world.
Yeah.
Not like, I'm changing the world. No, you're changing the world. Totally different thing. When you can operate from significance, your whole world change. Then you don't have any guilt. You don't have any guilt, I'm making money, am I a bad guy? No. Because as you grow, the people around you, your team, your employees, your students, your clients, all their lives change. Then I work harder now than ever. And financially, I'm more successful than ever. For most people, if I just do it for myself, I don't do any of this shit.
You don't need to work anymore.
I don't need to do any of this shit. Like I don't need to interview, book, just focus on my company.
Yeah.
But if I do it for more than myself, I'll push harder.
Right.
I will do more. You know what? Longer day, it's okay because I'm driven by mission. It's totally different thing.
That's so awesome.
Now, guess what? The money thing, no problem. There's no guilt. Absolutely no guilt. Because I know if I built $1 billion company, imagine how many people I would impact. I can tell you millions and millions and millions of people. Guaranteed. Because it's the only way I'll get there.
And you're already on that path. I mean,
Yeah.
you're already affecting millions.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm not
Yeah.
going to, stop.
Yeah.
Because if I'm just thinking, I want to make enough money so I can retire. I can make enough money that I don't have to work. I can sit on the beach and do nothing. That life is boring as hell.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that it's not interesting. With
and
what
you've
I
been
do,
there, so people go like, no, I would never be, but you've been there and you say, don't,
because
talk till you've been
I
there.
know I'm motivated by growth and contribution, like what Tony Robbins talks about.
Yep.
So with what I do now, I integrate everything I do. When I create a piece of content, I meet some like fascinating people. We get to meet new people.
Yep,
I get to learn. I get to contribute what I know. I get to share with my audience. I just integrate with my life. So my work, my play, it's very blurry.
right.
It's not all. Am I working? Am I not? It's very, very blurry.
And it's all fun and fulfilling.
It's all fulfilling. Like this to
Yeah.
me is not work. Like this is easy.
Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
you
this
and
is
I've been
easy.
hanging out,
Yeah,
just talking.
this
and-
is easy. Like,
Yeah.
oh, are you creating content? Are you working? Yeah, but I would rather do this than sit around and like on a boat doing nothing. You know? Like, that doesn't like it's cool, but so what?
Right.
It doesn't get me excited.
That is-
This gets me excited.
Yeah.
Right? So
Well,
that changes everything.
There's so much, and I know you've got so much content. So for my peeps,
Yeah.
for them to find you, so I want to tell them how to find you, because this guy has some of the best content on how to make a lot of money, on how to be successful in doing it while adding value to people. And you've also got a brand new book coming out, you just alluded to it, called
Unlock It.
Unlock It.
Yeah.
So tell them how to find you on social media, on YouTube and all
Yes.
that, and then let's talk about the book.
Yeah, so go to social media, YouTube, you type in Dan Lok,
Dan Lok, and it's LOK.
Yeah, okay. And Unlock It, theunlockitbook.com, they could get a copy.
The unlockitbook.com, and that's LOCKIT. We'll put the link in the video down
Yeah.
below here in the video.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen the book. I just heard about the book this morning because
Yeah.
it hadn't been published yet. Is that
Yes.
right?
In a month.
In a month.
Yes.
So can they pre-order it, or
Yes,
is it
they could.
on? Oh
They
man,
could.
that's so.
They could.
I'm buying a copy. I'm stoked. Just hearing about it. So, okay, so real quick, tell them what the book is about.
The book, I wrote a book a number of years ago called F You Money, you know that.
I've got that book. Yeah.
And people talk about, oh, F You Money, like it's just food money, it's an acronym. No, it's exactly what it means. It's exactly what it means. I wrote that when I was younger.
Yeah.
Right? Where I was more brash.
Kind of in your face.
Think about the 4 levels. Success.
You were in success.
That's like, you do this lifestyle, you build the business and all that stuff, right? Now I'm a little bit older with more gray hair, a little bit more mature.
Looking great.
The way I view life, the way I view everything I do, it's changed.
Yeah.
It's changed. So the Unlock It book, I believe, is at this point in my life, my most important work. That I share a very different perspective. You can see within the book my view on education, on economy, on my high income skills, business, everything that I see what I do now. It's a much more mature version. You can say everything I've learned condensed into a book. It's my best work. It's
That's
my best
great.
work. And I think when people read the book, they will see, especially if they read my older book, they will see some of the principles still the same,
Right.
but it's much deeper level of work.
Well, it's. I love people who are the best in the world at what they do, and that's you. I love people who have the fruit on their tree, not just making a lot of money, but having a great marriage, having, adding great value.
Yeah.
I've got to visit with your team, and just like this guy surrounds himself with
Good people.
greatness, and you and I have a common mentor that
Yes.
you've been working with for years that I've just
Yes.
started working with,
Yeah.
and so I mean that's kind of like, all right, this is a guy I want to learn from, and that's why I've introduced you to our
Yes.
audience, and I'm
Yes.
honored to get a visit with you. So theunlockitbook.com.
Yes.
Go there. You can get a pre-order a copy of the book.
Yes.
And I'm going to be reading my coaching members. We're going to be talking about it. I'm sure the content of it. You're going to talk about.
You'll love it. It doesn't matter
the
what you do,
wealth
you'll love it.
triangle. You
Wealth
talk about the wealth
triangle.
triangle and those 4 levels of
life, basically.
life, and it's great. So you can go there, find out more about it. Dan,
Thank you,
and
Dennis.
so what an honor to have
Appreciate
you on with me today. And,
Thank you.
It's
been
great
great.
contribution to my gift.
It's
A
been
great
great.
gift to my peeps.
Thank
So
you.
thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Dan Lok, everybody.